Hello everybody, welcome back. So it's Sunday and it's not exactly a good trading day or anything like that. It's just been pretty stagnant for the last few days with Bitcoin, but something I thought I'd bring to your attention again, and it's something that I've been looking at for a while now until this whole crash happened and a bit of a failed cycle with XRP. It looks like things might begin to start to get interesting. XRP's back on my radar again, and it's because we're getting ever so close to breaking through this 2-year descending trend once again. Once we've broken above here, well, it's not exactly the case, but we broke above here last time. This is when I got bullish from it before. We broke above here when we launched quite a significant amount in a very small space of time. And what was this? Just a couple of days actually. It rallied 26%. The idea of this though is if we break above here and we stay above here, then it's time for XRP to re-enter the market, basically get back to doing something interesting instead of just being such a wet lettuce the entire time. So I've noticed that with Bitcoin holding up pretty well, to be honest with you, despite the what I would generally consider to be a relatively bearish chart, this bounce is phenomenal, and Bitcoin has liked to do bounces like this in the past. This is where we basically crashed down from here, we bounced again, we rallied all the way up here. So this is another bounce. Let's just measure this one from bottom to top. That was 61%. This one is way more than that. This is getting close to about 100, I'd say, at this point. Yeah, 101%, give or take, depending on the charts that you use. This is the Binance chart. So yeah, 100% there, and I think we've got close to 100% from the bottom to the top with XRP. Yeah, basically 100%. So obviously not as strong as Bitcoin. Generally, if you want to trade alts, you want to trade alts that are stronger than Bitcoin. You don't want to trade alts that basically aren't and they're underperforming. So why would we trade XRP at the moment? Well, we wouldn't at the moment. We're not going to trade it until we break above here and we stay above here. And this was caught short and it came down and collapsed. And now I think because of the halving event with Bitcoin, I'm going to really, to be honest with you, play it safe, because I'm not jumping on board the halving as one event which is going to cause everything to rocket. I think what's more likely to happen is that there's a slight decoupling at the moment with Bitcoin and traditional markets. You've seen that the crash showed you that generally across the board everything is more or less the same. They kind of tied in more than you'd like them to be. So the halving is giving it extra strength when you're talking about Bitcoin. This bounce 100% from the bottom to the top, that's strength, and that's because there's this halving coming around the corner. And the halving, until it's happened, is probably going to remain strong. I don't think that Bitcoin's going to come down any large amounts before that halving, and the halving is not far away now. What are we talking about? 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before that halving event kicks in. So when we look at things like Litecoin, when Litecoin's halving took place, right? So obviously you've got to take into account the way and the state of the entire cycle of everything as a whole. But Litecoin was leading the market for the entire of last year, so it was the strongest by far. It launched first most of the time, everything else followed it, all the way up until the halving, where it got to about $140, and then it just fell apart from there. Now, also on top of that, it was the fact that I think a lot of the market at that point was overbought, and everything began coming down. But my point that I'm making is that the halving of Litecoin didn't actually do what it did previously. Previously, it increased its value for up to about 400%. This time, it decreased its value by about 250%. My maths will be off there, but roughly around 250% it came back down to. So, the halving events have shown in strong top cap alts recently that they're not all that, and Bitcoin isn't, it's not a Litecoin, it's not a Bitcoin Cash, it is Bitcoin, and this is where the vast majority of the money is. So, it'd be very interesting to see how it reacts after the halving, but what I'm saying is just be very cautious about this halving, because I actually think that the halving is going to cause a downtrend, to be honest with you. I think it's showing that at the moment the halving is priced in, and there will be a pump shortly before and a little bit after. I'm talking maybe only hours before a downtrend is likely to kick in. Then that's what other alts have shown, top alts, and I think that's probably what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Now, just because the halving is priced in currently doesn't mean that Bitcoin's a dead asset. It's not. Right? There will be a drop off and then it will start again. But that's how I'm going to be trading Bitcoin, and it's also why I'm going to be very careful trading anything at the moment, because everything is generally going to follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin rallies, everything else is going to rally. Obviously, there's pumps and dumps across the board with all kinds of alts, but with the top cap alts, including things like XRP, and I know that XRP isn't directly related to Bitcoin, but it kind of is. The halving is going to be priced in with XRP too. However, if for whatever reason we get a pump, when we get a close above this candle, a candle close above this descending trend here, which we are right now being rejected from as of today. So anything above 20 cents from this point forward, from tomorrow, from next week, 20 cents, and anywhere above 20 cents might, and I know it sounds silly, it might be an opportunity to buy. There'll be need, and this is not financial advice, so it's not, I'm not a financial advisor, so this is what I'll be doing. I'll be keeping a very close eye on this, and also I'll be keeping very close stop losses. My stop losses will be on this descending trend. They will change every other day. I will be taking profits actually as and when. I'm not going to be holding this for very long. It'll be a matter of buying and selling and buying back on this resistance line, which I do believe will be tested pretty soon after the break. So if we go down to the daily, and this line is a 2-year descending trend line, so it's not to the point accurate. It's been going for 2 years. It's not exactly accurate. I'm measuring it on wicks as well, by the way, rather than candle body closes. So if you look at where we are now, we have broken above it and we've stayed above it for a few days. You can see how these candlesticks are coming down to test it, and like I say, my descending trend line here is rough. It's very rough. It's lasted for over 2 years, so it's not going to be on the money. It's not going to be on point, but it's close. So we've been rejected. We broke above it, came back down to close beneath it. We've been supported above it now, which looks like it wants to be bullish now, and we're in a big red cloud, which also isn't great. Let's have a look at some of these other indicators. So we are looking quite good on the daily MACD. That's quite good. In fact, I believe Bitcoin is in the same posturing. Yeah. RSI is in a healthy place for a bit of a pump. You could call this reaccumulation all the way up. A little bit of a zigzag on the daily there, which I didn't like. So there's a lot of indecision on this one right now, but I do feel like I want to trade this one right now. I think I'm going to go in for a bit of XRP action. I do expect this descending trend line to be tested. So first, I will be stop lossing at around, probably just below that, around about 18.75, and see where we go. Now, where could we possibly go from here? I mean, it's very difficult to say. We had a cross in each cloud over here to suggest continuation. These are getting closer together, and that's gone level now, so it could all completely fall apart. So stop loss is going to be a very important part of this XRP trade. I would also suggest that the first opportunity to sell this would be close to where it topped most recently. So its most recent high would be around about 20.5 cent. So really not much profit to be locked in at that point. But what we do want to see is we want to see this launch and come back down to test this, and then launch again and come back down to test this. Overall, when we're looking at the targets of this, I think the overall big rejection would be around about 22.3 cent. And I think that's probably the first big rejection. So selling around about 22 would probably be a good idea, maybe even around this descending moving average here, which is our 100-day close, just a simple moving average. So yeah, just to play it safe, I might want to sell around that moving average. But all I'm saying is, though, the halving event is keeping everything strong at the moment. and it's allowing some of these alts to hit certain precursors for bullish moves. XRP is in many ways a forgotten asset, apart from the people that basically have it tattooed to their chest and absolutely love it for whatever reason, love it or hate it. This is a setup that I traded before and I'll be looking to trade again. Now this was a failed breakout, so bear that in mind. This did fail before, but it was a setup that I liked and I traded it again. So we broke above it and we were supported on it and we launched from it. Now we've broken above it, we're being supported on it. I think there is a good chance that we will launch from it. Anyway, it is all I've got for you today. My life is getting too busy, and I will try to make more videos for you, I promise. I'll see if I can sneak one in tomorrow. I'm one of the key workers. I work with social services, so I'm out and about all the time, taking care of vulnerable people and kids. Very difficult situation at the moment for me to come back and make videos when I'm being overloaded with work. Plus I've got 2 kids at home. But aside from that, I do try to keep an eye on the market, and if I don't make a video, I will try to at least tweet what I say. But always bear in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. These are setups that I like and I will trade, and if they fail, it's me that will lose out. Don't let that be you. Do your own research. Learn to do, learn to do TA, and like I say, I hope you have a good one. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.